time. Get out, you're pretty, I know a better place. I won't leave you half the way. In a fair world we could say, go and tell the sun it fades. Oh, I know why. We see eye to eye, not leaving you. Got to do something now, in it all the way. That tells me that you're bound to break. I know what you're giving. Get out right away. I know you're not fitting with the fray. In a fair world we could say, get to the higher phase. Oh, I know why. We see eye to eye, I'm not leaving you. I gotta make do, gotta get through, make a seal that's bound and fade. Said we went down, but we reached the ground. I know the way. I will meet you between the night and day. Then we'll ring the sound to celebrate. In a fair world we could say, gonna win this either way. Oh, what you know, and it's gonna stay with us after all. We see eye to
Hello and welcome everyone to a Discordant Dragons community stream. Tonight is not the 27th episode. It is a community stream. And there are a few reasons for that. We'll get into that here in a minute. But I would like to first thank everyone for showing up as usual to the Monday night time slot. I know that there's been a time change for some of my listeners. Hopefully that they're not going to miss this because of said time change, but we all know how that goes. I'd like to start off today by thanking the people who support this channel and make everything possible on my end. We're going to start with thanking everybody on Subscribestar. Iron Roots, White Healing, Heidi Van Buskirk, The Alabastard, Already Death, Joseph, Landman, Number 7, etc., Xanazak, Deus Light, Liberty or Death, Velicus, N of One, Saxmits, Violence is Life, and West Y11. Thank you guys for supporting me monthly. You can also support monthly on Entropy. I put the link in the description. You can send super chats on Entropy as well. I know technically that that's a YouTube word, but fuck YouTube. You can support there monthly as well on 4 tiers. Tonight, we're just having a community stream where people are going to come together, laugh, and talk because I was unable to get to get anyone on the schedule for the entire month of November. Let's go ahead and close this down here. Go back to regular. The four people that the three people technically that we have with us now are Ginger Monster, 3 of 12, and Aiden Paladin. Welcome, you guys, for the community stream. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
It's no
Hello.
problem.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And thank you for jumping in on short notice, Aiden. I know I just messaged you a little bit ago.
Yeah. Well, I was just sitting
wow.
down here like smoking cigarettes, and I was playing
Cool.
Phasmophobia because I didn't get to play it on Halloween. So I was like, oh yeah,
Ooh,
sure.
fun times.
Holy crap! we should
Speaking
play that
of
together.
Halloween, happy Sam Hain and Halloween, everybody.
Happy
Uh,
Samhain.
Let's go around the room and we'll start with Ginger. We'll go around and get everybody. We'll do Ginger, Aiden, and 3 of 12 can back clean up. Tell us what you did for the Halloween weekend, if you did anything special at all.
Well, honestly, the most Halloween-related thing I did was take part in the whole impersonation extravaganza thing that happened over in the Cabal. That was some good fun.
Yeah, I was present for that too.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
went
fun.
around masquerading as Scrump for a while, was virtually everybody else in there decided to imitate various other people. Unfortunately, Aiden only ended up impersonating her alter ego, which was a little unimpressive.
Oh, that's fun.
Wait. No, I was Dickie Spency.
And I was Enel.
Exactly.
That's not my alter ego. I'm not a Fed.
Speaking of altered identities, I was with my family doing stuff like usual on the weekends, so I wasn't at the Cabal thing, sadly. But I did see the absolute abortion that someone made of my little avatar pic here. They made the skin.
it was
They
awful.
made the skin shiny
also
brown. They gave it funny lips, and they gave it bright pink hair. They made it look like a Nicki Minaj knockoff, and it was a travesty. And I died a little on the inside. So thank you to whoever did that.
Objectivity is anti-black.
Let me go dig it up. Somebody sent me the picture of it earlier. I will
Yes.
share the travesty. What is that doctored avatar of mine?
Yeah,
you'll
evil Yiz
be
fights
able
against
to-
anti-blackness.
You'll be able
Oh,
to find
God.
it quite easily, Yiz, if you search in the.
No, I already
the
have it. I've
Cabal
already found
server.
it. I already have it. Let me get this open and embiggen it here. All right. Prepare yourselves. This is fucking terrible. Let me make this big here for everybody.
Oh,
Look
I
at
saw
this.
this. Never mind.
This is fucking terrible. This is fucking
great.
awful. It's
great.
awful. No, it's terrible. It's absolutely disgusting.
Lear Queen now.
I absolutely
Slay.
disavow.
Ask Queen.
I disavow. I do not want to be Nicki Minaj. All right,
We was
anyway.
queens and shit.
let's embiggen Aiden Paladin here. See if she, wait. I thought I could just make her thing bigger. No, I can't. I thought that I could choose one
I'm
person.
sure you wish you could make her thing bigger.
Oh, shut up. But no, I wanted to look at your new artwork because that artwork you have is a different avatar than usual, and it's really cool.
Yeah, this is from Pencil Cookie at Pencil Cookie on Twitter. She's a friend of mine. She's doing some art for me.
Nice.
She's done lots of art for me. Definitely check her out. Spoon and I are going to do a podcast together apparently, so Penny's doing the art for that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I actually was going to replace all 3 of 12 with Spoon, but he turned me down for you.
It was totally.
You hear that? 3
oh
of 12.
my
Your stay of execution has been extended.
First of all, that's rude to 3 of 12. Secondly, I felt so fucking bad because we've been talking about it for like a week, and then it was like right. I got on your show last one time, and you asked him to be your co-host. I was like, oh fuck, because we've been talking about it for like a week, and I was like, oh god damn it, I want to be horribly rude.
It's okay. I'm used to getting bullied.
No, that's all good. 3 of 12 is American, and I wanted to make this show more of American focused anyway. Not that you're not, originally American or whatever, Aiden. It's just,
Hey, she's from Maryland. It's close.
Yeah, I am an
good.
expat though. I ran away. That makes me a coward, I guess.
But I wanted to
am-
have the DD
I
stream
ran away
be,
too.
but the DD stream's evening based. So, people that are 5 or 6 hours ahead, that makes it hard for them if I don't start till midnight their
Yeah.
time. So,
10 is all right, but anything later than that starts to get a little bit. Oof.
yeah.
I've been on Flashcast, and he starts at 3 a.m. here, so I literally have to go to
Oof.
sleep. I go to
Good
sleep
lord.
at like 10, and then I at least get like 5 hours, and I drink a fucking energy drink to get on Flashcast. But yeah.
Well, did you do anything special for Halloween weekend?
Oh, me? No, I was actually kind of upset. We didn't do anything. We didn't even watch any horror movies. I felt kind of shitty. We had no, and it was terrible weather here. So we had, I think, 3 groups of trick-or-treaters. And it's not as big of a deal in the UK as it is in the US, obviously, but people do go trick-or-treating here still. And we had about 3, but it was just rainy and nasty. And I know that's par for the course for the UK.
Yeah, it was cold and a little rainy here, but we don't really get many trick-or-treaters because we're hillbillies out in the mountain holler. Not a lot of trick-or-treating goes on out here. But
yeah, I mean, I
didn't realize that you lived in the UK.
Yeah, I live in the Channel Islands.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. 3 of 12. Did you do anything for the weekend for Halloween, Samhain, anything like that?
I just did the Cabal thing. I mean, it completely crept up on me. Well, I know I did do something. I forgot. I dressed up for my job. We did a little holiday thing, a Halloween thing where we could do costumes for the weekend, and I wore my Starfleet jacket.
Oh, I have to ask though, what color?
Gold.
Gold
Lieutenant Commander.
All right. I mean, you could guess what color all my Starfleet shit is, but
yeah, blue.
Purple.
That's blue. Science.
No, I know. Yeah. I was being funny because
Oh, it should be purple.
Yeah. I'm too old. I make bad jokes now. Somebody replace me. Hell, I need Spoon to replace me on my channel. Fuck.
Yeah, straight up engineer all day long.
Engineer. Oh yeah, engineer. Yeah, Yellow's engineer. I don't know why I said it was command. Red's command.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't. Apparently, I need to rewatch Star Trek.
I thought that red was the color of those who die.
Well, I think blue was originally science, but that was original series. They changed the colors. I think
they changed it to like a green teal. It's like a tealish green in next gen onward. Yeah, it's medicine and science.
It depends on like the exact outfit. Sometimes they go back to more bluish, but they swapped gold and red for command and engineering.
Right. Yeah, gold and red were the ones that were because originally it was red was the red shirts for the.
Well, to get into the minutia, like engineering strictly was like orange for a period when they had the red outfits because they did like colors for division, for department, and whatever.
Well, tonight for this stream, I wanted to talk about some stuff. For Discordant Dragons, we have a lot of people that we love. We love Aiden Paladin. We love Ginger Monster. We even tolerate 3 of 12 on this channel.
Aww, and why are you so 3 of 12 all the time?
It's just fun.
It makes me stronger.
We have no three knows I love him. We have Don the Pleb that comes on. We've had a lot of people on here. We've had DC Perspective, Prudentialist. We've had the cute little Kenzie Puff's been on here. We've had the Aiden Doppelganger Farfetched on here. We had Trigger Hippie. We had Uzulu once. We've had a lot of people come on and off this show, and it's not for lack of trying that I don't have anybody lined up yet. I have a couple of people lined up. We'll get to that in a minute. But usually what I do is around halfway mark of the month, I start sending out feelers to try to fill Monday slots for the following month. And in the last 2 weeks, I have only gotten 2 responses back that were negative for the month of November. And I don't think it's because people just are giving me the finger and don't want to be on the stream. I think it's just November and December are really busy months for a lot of reasons for people. And I just don't have anybody lined up. But it wasn't for lack of trying. I haven't given up on DD or anything. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this. And for those of you listening, the 28 of you listening, if there are content creators out there or just friends that like to talk that you think would be a good addition to the Discordant Dragons crew, let them know and then let me know how to contact them. And I will do my best to get them in the lineup. I want to bring on a bunch of people and have and eventually develop a regular bullpen of 20 or 30 regular guests, sort of like a lot of variety shows do, like Unpopular Opinions with AA, for example. I would like to build that up and have a core group of a dozen people that regularly want to be on, and then have, a secondary dozen or so that fill in, every month or two. I would like to build that up to be routine. So my question to the 3 of you here now, do you like me having on just one set guest and then just sort of putting out feelers the day of to see who wants to hop on? Because up to now, I've been trying to have a scheduled, firm group of 4 or 5 people a week or so ahead going into it. Do you think that's foolish and I shouldn't do that? I should just try to have one set person each week and then just have on whoever wants to hop in? Do you think that would be smarter? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Ginger.
No, you go ahead.
So, just my experience with that is that, like, I go and shit post on Adam and Sitch's stream all the time. They don't invite me until I shit post in their chat. But no, I'm just saying, like, that it tends to be like what I found. Like, half the time I get on somebody's stream, it's because I'm in the chat and shit posting, and then it's like, oh, invite Aiden on.
No, I see. Okay.
So, if somebody's in your chat, invite them on. But I'd say, like, have a set guest. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about having a full panel, because you can just throw people links, and if they want to come in, sometimes people will be in the chat and they want to come in. It depends. And you threw me a link 20 minutes ago or whatever, and I was like, oh, hey, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So, it depends. And I would only other say for me also is that the longer amount of time I have between the date and the time I'm supposed to be someplace, the worse I am at responding, just me personally. Because even when I schedule it, my brain is shitty. That's me. Okay. So, personal experience there.
All right.
Point of personal privilege.
Ginger, anything you want to put in on this?
Don't even start with this.
Oh, Aiden, why did you have to leave it off with that?
Comrade.
Thank you, comrade. Go ahead, comrade Ginger.
I am a failure. Comrade.
Right, well, Christ. So, my suggestion was just going to be that you do currently have a set selection of people that you expect to be able to, at the very least, have a potential chance of responding, like Dawn and Aiden, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. My suggestion would just simply be inform them that at on every week, on Monday at the same time, you're going to be running the stream, and every week just send them out a message that says, here's a link. If it turns out if you have a free moment, you feel like hanging out, feel free to pop in, but otherwise it's entirely up to you. Literally just have an open invitation for plenty of people, and if the stream ends up turning into a clusterfuck of 15 people at once, that just ends up being very entertaining, let's be honest.
Well, okay, as entertaining as that might be, maybe I'm just an autist or I'm just an anal nutbag, but I like structure and order. And I like there to be a party that accomplishes the task together. Like, I've butted heads with people before who just want to come onto the streams for a little while or want to come in late. And I'm like, no. Because I want to start with a group, have an experience with that group, and then share treasure with that group as the experience of this stream. So that's why I'm kind of firm on wanting there to be a set group that does the whole stream together and just that group. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. And if that's the style of stream that you want to go for, well, then I guess my suggestion is a little incompatible with that. But that is my suggestion, just basically making it a more open party style of thing, where people who want to take part can just drop in and out and add to the conversation what they can whilst they're here.
That's not bad. But it does sort of go against the grain of the structure I built for this particular stream idea. 3 of 12, tell me some ideas that you have, if you have any.
Well, I mean, I think it doesn't hurt to do both, a little bit of both. Like, I agree that with the format of DD, it is important for people to be on time, and I hate saying that considering I am always on time.
I was going to say, you're one to talk there, you son bitch.
3. There have been 9 of my D&D sessions, each and every single one of which you have been invited to and failed to attend. To say that you have scheduling problems is a dramatic understatement of the century.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Considering that, like, Sunday is my deadline for classwork, I mean, I'm never up that hour.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's just, I should have never agreed to it. It's a fucking colossal mistake.
I don't blame you for it, but that isn't going to stop me from poking fun at you for it.
Yes, and so I will eternally regret this. It will never be let go. It's going to haunt me for the rest of my time on the internet.
Hey, we're getting some more people in chat now. We're up to about 30. That's good. Good to see Violence
Actually,
is
do
live.
you have a link for me to send out? Because I don't know if it was on YouTube or where. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I posted it on on Twitter. Give me a second. I'll send it over to you.
Like, send it to me. I'll send it out.
I'm headed over there right now.
Okay.
Getting the link.
Well, the more I think about the subject, the more I think that maybe you could put up some kind of like bulletin board. I don't know. You can put up some sort of feelers out.
EFAP does that.
Right?
EFAP does that.
Oh, they do?
So yes. Well, for like big streams, EFAP does that. Yeah. I think he is. But for
like
really big streams,
like a public Google calendar.
It's a big Google Doc where like, well, it was that way for like the EFAP like 300 stream. I remember because it was like, holy shit, because there were a ton of people on EFAP. Was it 300? That there were a ton of people on that. So even though I didn't even participate because I was like I didn't pay attention essentially.
Okay.
That can work.
I was in the what was it? The EFAP that we did on Cabal, and never again because it was just autism.
Well, I could do this. I could do this. Most people can at least use Discord even if they don't like it. I could make a Discordant Dragons scheduling Discord where only the people that participate in it or plan to participate in it join the Discord. And then that is where we have like, the shared document or whatever, where people can hop on. They can say, oh, I want to be on this day, or they can just say, hey, what's going on in the next couple of weeks? Can I jump in or whatever? Maybe make a Discord specifically for it. You think that would be a good idea?
That honestly sounds like a good idea. In fact, you could even go through the process of making just a group DM. Group DMs can have up to 10 people joined at once. So
I'm not doing that. That's too few people, first of all. And second of all, it's something everyone will ignore. I don't think that'll work.
Well,
sorry to shoot that down so quick, but I've not had good experiences with that before.
It just depends on how much emphasis you put on it. It has, like, whenever you use a solution for this sort of thing, you have to make one thing like the center of attention and push it constantly.
Well, let's go to the community and see what the community is saying, because we have some community engagement. We have, thank you, Slots. Slots sent me $20 on Cash App.
Damn, nice job, dude.
Slots.
Thank you, Slots. He didn't send a message with that, but thank you. Thank you all the same. I appreciate that, my friend. We also have Vingtor over on the question widget on Entropy. He says, point of personal privilege. Does anyone else think that the commies of the Labor Party conferences sound like they are saying comrags when they say comrades?
They do.
They do.
They absolutely sound like you're saying comrags. Well, okay, all right. So to defame my own people, but look, I'm an Amerimut, but half of my family is Welsh, and by Welsh I mean very Welsh, as in my grandmother was from Wales. The way that you say,
did she say he heard for heard?
Well, no, she was from Wales, but like she passed away a few years ago. But the way that you actually say Welsh in Wales is Cymric.
Oh wow!
Oh gosh,
which is really close to Cymraeg.
Wow!
It's Cymru is as you say Wales Cymru, but
we have I missed something on D Live. I'm sorry. Over on D Live we have For Null. For Null is the guy that some of you guys know who does the Dragon Synth Adventures. He's also one of the two creators that did the intro song that we just listened to. That cool rock and roll song with the great order, Jared George. For Null,
I did think that was quite good.
Yeah, he's a great musician. He was doing the guitar work, I think. But I know Jared plays guitar too. I'm not sure who did what on that collab there. But he has he donated 3 diamonds over on D Live. To say, go free, no white guilt, and hail Yiz and crew. No white guilt, and Promethean hails to you too, Fornell. Thank you very much. We also have Violence is Life coming in with an ice cream. Thank you very much for the ice cream over there, everybody. All right, let's see. Entropy's blank now, so now it's that's all the community engagement for now. But I will be putting in chat the ways that you can support the channel financially, and I greatly appreciate all of that. So go ahead, Ginger.
I was just going to ask Aidan a quick question. You mentioned earlier that in Welsh, Cymru is how you describe Wales, but I always... Okay, so in Wales, as part of my job, I do conveyancing searches, And as a result, I had to deal with like water companies and such. And one of the water companies that operates within Wales is a business called Hafren Dyfrdwy. What does that translate to?
I don't have any fucking idea. Like, dude, the amount of Welsh I speak it's not even conversational. It's like what my grandma told me, which is like 10 words. So,
oh no. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Like,
well, what about the 14 words in Welsh?
I don't know if she knew those, but I mean, like, I speak near. Well, at one point, not anymore, but at one point, I spoke near fluent Japanese. I can speak a little bit of Icelandic and a tiny bit of Polish, and that's about it. But Japanese is the only other language outside of English. Oh, and I speak conversational Spanish, but outside of that, and that's been a long time, so don't have me on the Spanish shit either. Only Japanese is the only language you can ask me questions about. Outside of that. And the Welsh shit, absolutely not. So I have no idea what that means.
You know a whole lot more languages than I do.
Oh, I don't really. It's just a little tiny bits here and there.
No, I only know English.
The only language you need.
It's
the only language you need.
Only one that matters. So.
Anglo supremacy.
It's very eternal Anglo of you guys. Very, very good. Very good.
You may struggle to believe this, but earlier in my life, I actually had serious problems picking up English.
Oh, really?
Is that because you're retarded?
Yes.
What?
I have learning difficulties, and part of those learning difficulties involved me not being able to speak in anything even remotely resembling fluent English.
Is that why you're so elocucious now? Because you spent a lot of effort learning how to speak properly? Is that why you sound so good now?
Probably. But yeah, I wasn't able to speak anything near understandable English until I was like 7 or 8 years old.
I actually had a similar issue. It was actually because I spoke too quickly. I was speaking English but too fast, and it'd like fucking take goddamn speech lessons to like.
You speak too fast? Never.
I know, how odd. Now, be aware is this is after years of therapy.
Oh wow!
I got to turn it down this slow.
I just had a high pitched voice and I muttered, so I had to sort of teach myself how to enunciate.
Yeah, well, we're a bunch of problem speaking buddies here.
Yeah, when I was born, I tore lungs screaming so loud, and since then it's never quite fully healed, and I've always been sort of soft spoken.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was because you were a pussy. I didn't know you actually had lung damage.
God, so blunt.
Wow, savage.
No, it's okay to be savage on this channel. You guys can rip into me when you want as well.
No,
it's okay.
I'm a little bunny.
We love white rabbits here. Everything's good.
This is a friendly chat.
We're gonna do a sneak preview of the next episode of Discordant Dragons today. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek article and then show you a funny tweet that I made to go along with it. So we're gonna go ahead and go over to this view here, and then we're gonna toggle to the camera. Boop, there we go. Juan Williams, parents' rights is for white racial politics, and as retarded as that is, I would like to show you what I tweeted about it. I used my spirit animal, Mallory Archer, to say, "Do you want Mustache Man? Because this is how you get Mustache Man."
That's my spirit animal, by the way. I don't appreciate you co-opting my spirit animal. That's okay. God. It's okay. I'll take Lucille Bluth instead. They have
okay.
Same actress. It's the same actress. It's fine.
Okay, you can have her. I'll take the character of Mallory because she's hateful and mean and old and white, and I like it. So anyway, I wanted to share that tweet with you guys. That tweet will not be part of the Discordant Dragon stream, but the article's going to be. So I just wanted to share that with you guys there. All right.
Interesting. That stuff is fucking infuriating. Like, everything about what's happening in Loudoun County is boiling my fucking bottom of just how
I know
insane it is.
I know, right?
Where the fuck are we at with this?
I'm blissfully ignorant when it comes to this. Care to make me angry?
Can I give you the TLDR?
Yeah, I want to talk about that too. But before we do that, there's a little bit of community engagement I want to address here.
Oh, sure.
Jacques Le Suave, over on Odyssey says, Yiz bullies 3 of 12 and calls Ginger a retard. Wonders why she can't get guests.
Oh, damn right.
Well, Yiz is always very polite to me, so I have to come in here and be like, "Oh, don't."
Yeah, but to be fair, you're female. If I'm not nice to you, you'll run away and cry. So,
unfortunately, fucking true.
Biological essentialism.
Hey, biological essentialism is correct. It's accurate.
I mean, more often than not, it is correct.
Retard than a coward any day.
I'll take a look at that link a little later, Violence. Aiden was about to go into something, so let's get back to that. What were you going to say, Aiden? Go ahead. About Loudoun?
About Loudoun County. So, if people aren't aware of what happened in Loudoun County, so it is getting. I'll try to be as succinct as I can be, even though I don't have anything in front of me and I wasn't prepared to talk about this. But to try and explain what's happened is that parents in Virginia in Loudoun County, which is very close to DC, by the way, were protesting because of the CRT being implemented in their schools against their wishes. And then it turned out, and this is my best of my ability to put these things together. If my timeline is wrong, it's very possible. I apologize. It turned out that there was a situation where a transgender student, excuse me, not transgender student, a student who just was a male who wore dresses sometimes, and as far as I've been able to tell, has never even been identified definitively as transgender.
Correct. I'll get into more detail on that later, but go ahead.
Sounds right.
Raped a girl in one school, and it was covered up, and then was put into another school where he raped another girl.
In a similar fashion, yes.
In a similar fashion in a girl's restroom.
Yes.
And the father of one of these girls who was protesting against CRT and the bullshit that was happening in the Loudoun County school system was arrested because he was apparently, as far as the best way I could describe it, being too loud and obnoxious about complaining about his daughter's rape.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, and to be fair, I know that I am biologically weird, but I would like to think that I have enough genetic imperative to know that that father actually behaved himself. Because if I found out that the school covered up some weirdo raping my daughter, and they then tried to resist me wanting justice, it would be 2 to the chest, face gets the rest time for everyone involved.
I think it would be for almost anyone who's like not insane.
Yeah. I'd never shut up about it.
I mean, because if there's ever a reason for a dad to drop brass on a school board, it's this. Let's just be honest.
But now they're saying, like, it is astonishing to watch the left say, "Oh no, she wanted it. They had done this before in the bathroom, so it's okay."
Yeah, well, from what I understand,
that's what I wanted to talk on whenever you were done. But go ahead, Bree. Sorry.
Yeah, it was mentioned that they had consensual sex 2 times previously, and who the fuck knows if that's true?
Who knows?
And that's the point I wanted to bring up is there's a lot we can't know here. So from what I've been able to do with digging on this article, there is obviously more to this than than the school board wants to be known. We don't know exactly why, but they've tried to cover it up at every angle. But from hearsay, from the parents and the people involved with the trial that I've been able to find that have leaked to the media, apparently the first victim, if she is indeed a victim, the alleged first victim, had some kind of engagement with the male child where they were meeting for hookups in a bathroom, and he was wearing a skirt or a dress or whatever. And allegedly they had met for sexual hookups before. And then there was one that was supposedly non-consensual, allegedly. And as much as we rail against the transgender agenda and lying, crooked-ass PTA people, we don't know exactly what's happened, and I don't know if we will ever know exactly what's happened.
Well, there's no way to ever know what's happened.
Yeah, and I think that alone is what I wanted to point to as a critical failing of public schools and why we should never use them.
But it is fascinating that the left has fallen back on the "she was asking for it" defense, as Howie the Zitzer in chat says. They are falling back on the "she was asking for it" because they had engaged essentially in consensual sex, allegedly. None of which we actually know. And I mean, by the way, just to reiterate, I think these children are like 13, 14.
Yeah, they're fairly young. Yeah. I think they're young high school kids. Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
which just says so many things.
It's still bizarre because there is definitive evidence that the school covered it up. The school system covered it up.
The Attorney General covered it up too.
Oh, fuck Merrick Garland. He got roasted by Ted Cruz and fucking Josh Hawley and Tom Cotton all fucking roasted him.
Great. I'm glad to hear that.
What
That's
is
fantastic.
happening?
Yeah, I mean, I see the smear
Rank
ads around
punditry.
him because I still live in the area, obviously. So I see Virginia political ads all the time. And it's just the smear ads from the left. They're like, I want all these things. I want all these. Are you really trying to smear them? Because it just looks like an advertisement. I want all this stuff.
Well, it's to me, it's a weird flex, right? I don't understand. I've actually I've talked to several people about this. Is that I don't understand what this move is. Like, why is this the hill you want to die on?
I don't get it either.
There's
telling parents that
right,
that
a rape
they don't have
that
any.
has alleged.
Go for it.
Oh yeah. No, free. Go ahead. Sorry.
You know, yeah, you're right. That this is the hill that they want to die on. Keeping parents out of the loop about absolutely everything, whether it's a criminal investigation or just the day-to-day things that they're teaching their kids, whether it's on the curriculum or not. And the weirdest part of all of it is that, you know, like the Lotus Eaters did a video on this too, like fairly recently about, you know, weirdos teaching kids weird shit. Is that virtually in every instance, parents calling up the administration and telling them that the teachers are teaching stuff outside of the curriculum was all it ever took for them to be fired. Like, it seems like it's only sort of tangentially poisoned at the teacher level, and the administration still they're completely complying with the fact that teaching stuff outside of the curriculum is illegal, and that they just get rid of them on the spot.
Well, okay.
Allow me to just say this before you carry on.
Mm-hmm.
I challenged you earlier to make me upset. Congratulations, you have made me upset with this.
Yeah, and you fuck with kids, like all bets are off.
Yeah,
that is. This is an angry Ginger voice right now.
Don't make me tap the sign.
I'd like to point out something that I talked about on Twitter earlier with some people. The hypocrisy of the quote left using but they had sex before she wanted it type of line of thinking. Calling out leftist hypocrisy is the right wing version of the left wing's. Let's just call them racist one more time, and we will have communist utopia. Like, it's calling out the hypocrisy of the progressive establishment is never going to work, because if that was true, it would have worked by now. Just like how calling people on the right racist and sexist, if that was going to work, it would have worked by now. These are common things that both the left and the right do ad nauseum, and they never have any effect. That's why I think it's completely pointless to continuously point out hypocrisy and shit.
But yeah, it's terrifying that the left. I mean, I want to get back to what Ginger was saying, but like,
sure,
it is kind of fucking terrifying. But all you have to do is look at what Vosh says, who's a thought leader, horrifyingly is a thought leader in the left, which is that he says, yeah, it's okay to lie. Yeah, it's okay to say things that you don't believe in just to gain political power.
Yeah, so those are the people you punch in the face.
But
those are evil people.
Those are the people you engage in political violence on. No, they're not even people. They're not even people at that point.
Exactly. Just ask Saint Ganowitz. Saint Rafal knows. Saint Rafal knows.
But still, it's not the people that we're dealing with. Go ahead, Ginger. Sorry.
See that's one area where I hear what Three just said. These aren't people. These are the people you punch, and I just think to myself, oh, but Christ, that is so far against my values.
Well, that's true, and it's against my values too, but only in times of peace. We have been at war with these people for like 100 years. These people want you eradicated, they want your children enslaved, and they want everything that you know and love to be gone, destroyed. They would be glad having your wife and child raped in front of you while they laugh at you.
And they think it's funny.
And they think it's funny.
Sam Hyde.
Sam Hyde committed all the terrorism.
This is good. These people want to rape your children. They think it's funny. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said, and he's correct.
Why is
don't make me
with evil?
Don't make me tap that sign.
It's because of the
just want to diddle your kids.
Do anything about it, Ginger. It's because good men won't do what needs to be done.
Exactly. All it takes is for a good man to do nothing, for evil to prevail.
And that's where we're at. Because everyone's too afraid. Because they know that they'll lose everything. And the unfortunate thing about being able to stand up against this stuff is that you cannot do it in a vacuum. You do need other people to do it with you. And what we're seeing happen right now is it's a systematic depersoning of person after person after person. And I guess the good thing, if there is such a entity is that eventually you'll depersonalize so many people that they themselves will become a class.
And this is why I made my Mallory Archer post, is because we have a vast swath of quote unquote good men who are not taking action. And eventually there's going to be enough, and eventually there's going to be a man or many men who pick up arms and do what should have been done in a more legal, orderly fashion previously. And then there's going to be a man that says, we need more of this, follow me and we will have more of this. And then we get Mustache Man and the cycle repeats. And that is what I don't want to get to. That is why I have the discourse I do. That is why I talk the way I talk. That is why I'm all about the white positivity, white well-being stuff, the America First stuff to replace these cancerous politicians. It's why I push localism to build strong insular communities to keep the pause out. I view all of the things I profess as a way to keep us from repeating this horrible backswing into just repeating the same horrible tragedy after Weimar the first time.
And it's very funny that I'm sure that a lot of people would listen to the things that you just said there, Yiz, and think that, oh, because you're supporting white positivity, therefore you are a Mustache Man. Meanwhile, you're trying to avoid it because, look, at the direction things are going to become radicalized, more so than they are. It's going to mean violence at some point, particularly when we get parents involved. And this has been overwhelmingly evident because that's what's happening. When you fuck with people's children, literally and metaphorically, which is what's happening, literally and metaphorically fucking with people's children, then people aren't going to stand for it. Eventually.
And they're not. Like we've seen many states have double and triple the amounts of homeschool enrollment this year.
Yeah, especially
because people are just fucking sick of it.
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Especially since the parents in Loudoun County are extremely successful, like type A personality people. They don't let this shit go. They're not passively scared of the elites. They engage. They just engage with whatever they think is right and what's best for them. They're not scared to act like this. And good for them. They're just like 2 counties away from me.
Yeah. And again, I think that it is still possible for us to avoid a horrible outcome. I know that things are going to get worse, but the storm that we have to make it through, we don't know how bad that storm's going to be. But I know... Well, it
always gets darkest, but yeah.
Right, but I know for a fact, the more positivity that we push now, the more awareness, the more productivity on a local level, the more positive communities we build, the more parallel co-ops and trading and little private communities that make their own food and grow their own whatevers and trade their own chickens and stuff. The more of that we have, the better chance that we will come out of the storm with enough people and enough unity to have some semblance of a civilization that we all want again. And that's what I hope and pray for. So that's the focus of all of my activism, philosophy, white well-being message stuff, is we have to give people something positive to build towards. Because me and 3 were talking about this before we went live, where if you only preach hate and violence and exclusion and pointing the finger and saying we have to kill these people or gas these people or extricate these people or force these people out, these are evil, we have to do. If you only have a message of deconstruction, hate, violence, no one will derive pathos from that. You have to have construction, building, positivity. You have to give a man a beautiful dawn to work towards for a family, or there's no reason for him to fight or care or get invested. And that's why I want to carry a message of hope, positivity, redemption, love, community, because I think that's where we're going to really have a chance to build and have something that people will unify around instead of just negativity and pointing the finger.
Well, the right's the only side that has that, right? The left is a death cult. It is, let's just fucking destroy everything as fast as possible. Let's just ruin everything. Let's just fast track speed towards utter destruction for some reason or the other. I mean, everyone's reason, I guess, is a little bit different. But they seem to be... I don't understand this. And as someone who's spent their whole life studying psychology, I don't actually understand the obsession with this death cult shit. I don't get it.
Well, I could take a stab at it if you want me to explain it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Go
on. I believe that there is truth to what the Christians say about there being a God-shaped hole in every man's heart. And I would like a moment to elaborate and explain. I think that whatever you believe about the origin of species, whatever you believe about man and God and fulfillment and pathos and the reason why a man is willing to swing an axe and go to war, the reason why a man is willing to go without to feed his child, whatever you want to call that, there is an undeniable, observable phenomenon in humans that they need something bigger than themselves and bigger than reality in front of them to live for, or they give up and they don't care. And the primary 3 pillars of society that our enemies came for in the beginning were family, God, and school. They came for those because they knew without those they could become God. With the destruction of the divine order, patriarchal destruction, that allowed chaos, and evil rules within chaos. It makes female male, it makes right wrong, it makes God self. It inverts. That's why it is apt to call these death cult psychos that are trying to, the NWO globalist anti-white people, it's apt to call them satanic as a literary reference, because they literally have infected and inverted all that they can about our values to destroy the bedrock, to destroy the foundational pillars that made our society what it is.
But to what
end? I think that's why, and I'm sorry, let me wrap up here. I think that is why we are 4 or 5 generations in America deep into the godlessness, the soullessness, the selfishness. And I think that's why you see so many just weak, bleak, empty people that are so eager to have some version of God that they can work in service to. And I think our enemies knew that from the beginning. And that was part of why they structured and came for everything the way they did.
A desire for God is evolutionarily based inside of human psychology, by the way. Tons of studies have found evidence for this, that people have a desire for God, for holiness, for power. So my question:
there's an inherent fear of the unknown, and the reason why God is so alluring as a concept is because God is an explanation and a protection from the feared unknown. It makes perfect sense for peoples to gravitate towards there being a benevolent divine being, or in some cases a maybe not even benevolent divine being, just an unknowable creature that in some way or another has your best interests at heart.
I think that's what scientism has become within the left, which you know, as is
definitely.
Oh god, we're getting back to scientism again.
No, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But my question, if you have an idea about it, is that why do you think this is the case, that this is happening? Is it just out of an evolutionary desire, or
why what is happening exactly? Be more specific.
I think they've gotten too used to science being essentially equated with truth.
No, I want to hear Aiden specifically. What are you asking about?
The elitism that's happening, this extensive elitism that's happening on the left, where is that we are the purveyors and exclusive purveyors of knowledge. We're the only ones who can possess the knowledge.
Well, because like everything in the divine order, in the natural order, there is a dominance hierarchy, and the dominant God or belief or whatever has a priest class that enforces the morality to the exclusion of all others. We see this in every civilization. That is what's happening in our civilization, but it's an God, an morality, an priest class. Do you take my meaning?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you're correct.
Wait,
and that's my answer to that. That's why I think that we're seeing that to the exclusion of all else, and why it's so focused is because that happens.
That's triggered a thought in me, actually. I realized something. I have not seen any ads or articles or anything like that pushing STEM for women recently. I guess it really is just for the elites now.
Oh, you know what? That's interesting. I haven't seen that either. That's kind of fallen by the wayside, hasn't it?
Yeah,
of course it has. I mean,
that's destroyed by Learn to Code, wasn't it?
I've seen that a couple of times around where I live. A bit of a pushing, diversity and the like into STEM
particularly.
Well, we probably don't notice it because they stopped pushing that on white people. All the ads that I see now for universities and going into STEM, it's always like young Asian girls and black girls.
Oh, yes, but Asians are politically white.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I think that the marketing is not towards us anymore, so we don't notice it.
I think when Yist says Asians, he's saying it in the same context the media usually does, in the
yeah,
the
like Indians,
style.
Filipinos.
I will never
Pakistani,
recognize her. I will never
I don't
recognize
mean-
people from the Middle East as Asians.
I don't mean the high Asians, the good Asians. I don't mean them.
The
the high
let's just use
Asians.
the British, not the British Asian. 'Cause it is a little bit different
Pakis.
from how, because
Apparently-
because the British, as you I'm sure know, Ginger, and probably all of us do here know, is that the UK and European definition of Asian is very different from the American definition of Asian.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
the UK definition of Asian tends to depend on who you're talking to, but generally speaking, if you say Asian in conversation, people are talking. If you refer to somebody as Asian, you are referring to the slanty-eyed folk.
Let's say East Asian to be less offensive, or we can be as offensive as we want, I suppose. But you know.
Well,
Just,
speaking of being offensive, Violence is Life wanted me to share an article, so we'll go ahead and pop back over to that. Let's see what fresh hell she decided to share with us today. All right, let's embiggen this and see what we got. Roy Exum, Hospital Horror Stories. Stories being told that the CHI Memorial Hospital posted a list of open positions before purging about 100 employees who balked at taking the vax. These employees, all good ones at their jobs, will be fired first thing tomorrow for non-compliance to a very unpopular mandate by a very unpopular president. That's one thing, but to post the open positions as the non-vaxxers are still working is colder than this week's rain. So that's from Chattanooga, in a couple hours south of where I am. Thank you, Violence is Life. I appreciate the share.
So it's interesting. Did you see the data? I do not recall the exact citation off the top of my head, but there were data that came out that showed that the people who were least willing to take the vaccine were basically like the lowest educated and the most highly educated, particularly within the medical field. So highly educated medical professionals are the least likely to take the vaccine outside of people who have an IQ under like 70, right?
It's basically the enlightened and the based retards out there. That's basically what we're looking at for the pure bloods.
It's because the people who understand science, and it's been fucking infuriating me for the last year and a half, is that if you I hate this shit of being like, oh, just trust the science. Never.
Okay.
No, never. Because
so
that's an absurdist statement.
Yes, because it's all you have to be naturally skeptical of any data that's produced ever.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing: science is the opposite of trusting and believing. Science is eternal skepticism and always challenging what is to try to find better or find out what's wrong.
Precisely, and moreover than that, if you anyone who read, I'm not trying to get your fucking shit taken down because apparently I don't think it was exactly my fault, but I feel like I do feel a little.
Girl,
bit
we ain't on
responsible
YouTube. You can say whatever you want.
I know, for Oozaloo's channel getting a strike.
That wasn't your fault. You know it.
We're like Oozaloo.
Yeah, well, I still feel bad for it. But the reality is that like the data on this are pretty consistent if you actually look at them, which is that we're not seeing like, first of all, children are not susceptible to this disease whatsoever. They are not. And the efficacy of the vaccines, such as they are, is incredibly low. So this is where you end up with, I think that the leftists, and I mean the average leftists, not the ones in charge, not the ones running the show, but the people who are, or the Twitterati types, are spinning their fucking gears trying to figure out, how do we explain this? Why are these vaccines not working? How do we explain this? How do we keep getting people to sign up for this shit before we put them in camps, which is obviously happening like now in Australia, or about to happen.
Did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have some questions about that, to be honest.
No, go ahead. I mean,
like with
basically,
children,
my point. It's bullshit.
Why? I mean, yeah, the statistics speak for themselves that children are not affected by COVID, but why? Because don't children have weak immune systems?
No, actually, that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true?
No. There are some things that can hit children stronger, but in general, the youth have very strong immune systems.
Yes. Children have inherited immune systems. So very young children in particular. The younger, the better, because they inherit their immune system from their mother. So whatever...
So leftists who are weak get children who are weak.
Yes.
Yeah, but whatever.
That's what I'm talking about. My based retards and us enlightened few. We're gonna rule the world once all these idiots die.
Oh dear God!
Oh, that's terrible. It makes me really sad. But and it does make me sad. Like it's different. Funnily enough, like I don't want leftists to die just because I disagree.
No,
with
of course
them.
not.
I'd rather live in the mountains with a bunch of retards and pleb hats with Bibles than city folk. I'm just saying.
But yes, you and all of you guys know for a fact they want us to die. They have been super overt, particularly over the last year and a half, that they want us to die because we disagree with them politically, and that is a very scary idea. So yeah, children aren't susceptible to this for a number of reasons. I'm guessing part of it is an inherited immunity, but oh, there we go. there's
Hey,
that's my clock.
There's the cuckoo.
That's not my cuckoo clock.
That's my clock, and it's not that accurate.
Oh shit!
My bird clock.
But
there you go.
There it goes.
There's the timing.
Well, speaking of, relating back, my cough. I've had a cough for over a month. And if you haven't paid a lot of attention to the news, it's been all this news about a super cold that's been going all around the world. Well, gee, why do you think that happened? Why do you think the super cold exists? Oh, could it be because we weren't exposed to normal pathogens for like 2 years?
Yep. And also, keep in mind, the way you develop herd immunity is by being a fucking herd. If everybody's in their own little cubicles taking poison, and then you put all these sick people back out into society after not being around each other for a year or two, of course you're going to get horrible mutations of regular colds.
Yep. It's like I'm not a biologist by any fucking sense in any way. I'm a social scientist. And when I look at some shit and go like, this doesn't make sense, you should be concerned. Because if I can look at something and go like, this doesn't make scientific sense.
And also, you're a woman.
Yeah, okay.
And even you can see this.
Wow, I mean, it's truly pathetic. Like, if I can look at something and be like, that doesn't make sense. I mean,
yes, and I'm a computer architect, and if I look at it and it doesn't make any sense to me, then like there's no logic there.
Brad C donated another diamond over on D-Live. Thank you, Brad C. I saw that one you gave earlier. I appreciate that, friend.
It even doesn't make sense to me, and I draw lines and dots on a map for a living.
Oh, sweet. I finally heard from Wes. Wes is busy doing a video on how to clean up the planetary market style.
I mean, I could add Spoon if you want him to come in.
Well, I sent him an invite. I just didn't hear back from him. But if he does your bidding and you have line to him, go ahead. You can invite him.
I asked Cal if he could come on, but he's at the zoo. Lucky bastard.
Speaking of the zoo, let's talk more about Australia. There was something I wanted to talk about. I saw a clip that an Australian friend of mine sent to me where a guy was irate because he witnessed medical training being given to the Australian military of how to forcibly hold down people and safely give them injections. And he was witnessed to a medical group training Australian soldiers on how to enter people's property and forcibly give them the vaccine. Now,
oh my God.
I can't confirm that because I've not been able to find any source on that, but it's a clip of two people talking. It's like a man talking to, I don't know, I can't tell her ethnicity, but it's some lady. And it's like an older white dude with gray hair talking about how he was privy to or witnessed or saw that happening. I just didn't know if you guys have heard or read anything about that because it was news to me.
No, I have not.
No, I haven't.
Not that I put it past the leadership of Australia to do such a thing, but
well, the leadership of Australia currently is outright fascistic. I think that's undeniable at this point.
It is. It was undeniable like months
horrifying.
ago.
It is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I deeply disturbs me, and I truly hope that the Australian people rise up against it because yikes.
I mean, I've seen lots of videos of them protesting. Cal tells me that Australians are protesting in every major city throughout the country every single fucking day, and the media isn't talking about it.
Yes.
Well, I know
I have
that
Australian friends that send me clips of people videoing it, and yes, that is true.
And
I have seen videos.
The police are just are like tear gassing them and stuff, aren't they?
Yes, because all the good cops have quit.
Wow.
So all that's left is the ones that are like willing to do anything
The
for a
fascists.
paycheck. Yes, Well, they might not be
an opportunist.
They might not be exactly fascists, but they'll do anything for a paycheck, and they've like bought into this. Like, I'll just do anything.
The best way to describe it is they are mercenaries.
Yeah,
they are working for the king because the king gives them gold. That's basically what it is.
That's actually a very accurate way to describe it.
Yep, they're just doing it for the paycheck. And, you know, you're right. In a way, they are also opportunists, because some of them will just stand around and let shit happen. And then others will go after some random person that they know they can beat up. Which just shows how shitty they are as human beings.
I mean, it's there's been a ton of data on this, data collected on this, and I know that I made Adam from Adam and Fitch angry one time, which is that, like,
good.
Fucking faggots. But no, I like Adam a lot. He's a good.
You like them still, really, after all they've done, even after all the shit that they did with AA. Like, they were completely.
Look, Aiden is friendly, and statistically, she is high in agreeableness.
I am, and trust me, 3, Adam has been a little bit fucking mean to me. So
I noticed.
But that being said, like, because he got a little bit angry at because he has a family member who's a police officer and did not like the fact that. So there's data that, and I was wrong on something I said on the stream, which I am always more than willing to admit when I'm wrong about something. But there are data that indicate that people who are who go into police work tend to be high. I thought it was Machiavellianism, but it's actually psychopathy, which is actually way worse. People, if you understand what psychopathy is, which psychopathy is not just wanting to control people, but
to process emotions.
Yeah, they can't understand human emotions. Machiavellianism is wanting to control people, but psychopathy can also include that tendency as well. So, yeah, I'm not super trusting of the police, which is, I think that this is a problem where we get forced into a dichotomy of left versus right, where the left is so hateful towards the police that they force the right into it, like, we have to support them inherent, and that's not good either, and nor is it healthy for society that we have to support an organization that is full of, let's be real, psychopaths or people who are
I just think it's more apt to call them mercenaries. Like, it doesn't matter if they're psychos or not. If they're willing to do the job, if they're willing to do the job and carry out the evil king's orders, then who cares what their motives are? They're evil actors at that point.
That is evil, yes.
Yeah. So
it's so frustrating.
So are we getting a spoon or not? Do you know?
Let me go. I sent him a message. Let me go bother him again.
Give you a spoon.
I sent out some other invites to people, and we'll see if we get anybody else to come on.
We might.
Just while we're having a break here, anybody that's in the chat that has a functional mic and would like to come on and speak to us, talk about issues, talk about what you like or don't like about the stream, you're welcome to. Let me know. Send me a PM somewhere. Let me know in chat, etc. You're welcome to come on and chat with us for a little while. Hunter Cunning is at work but headed home, and if we're still streaming when he gets home, he's going to jump on here with us. We might have a spoon here in a little bit. Just to let you guys know,
editing a video. I will say that.
Oh, okay.
I know he's editing, so
okay. Oh, probably not then. But he's welcome to if he wants to. If you guys want to support the channel with dollary dues, I would appreciate that. You can send hyper chats over on Odyssey. Those dollars come directly to me, and Odyssey gets a small cut. Over on Entropy, which is the best site, you can post questions and comments to us in the question widget at no cost to you. And if you'd like to support the channel with a paid chat, you can do that on Entropy as well. Entropy is the one-stop shop for the best chat. They are ideologically aligned with us who are fighting for freedom, and I absolutely support them with dollary dues myself as much as I can. And I would like my followers to do the same. So if you'd like to engage with us, my panelists, myself, while supporting the channel financially, please consider sending a paid chat over on Entropy. It is the best. So now, back to what we were talking about. Go ahead.
Well, now I've forgotten. oh, tyranny.
Yep.
Yes.
Tyranny is awful.
Why are we not talking about tyranny?
Unfortunately, I wish that we didn't have to fucking constantly talk about tyranny, but it is the topic du jour now, isn't it? Everywhere.
It is.
And where's it not? Where's it not next
utterly
time?
frustrating. Why is it that the world has managed to regress to such a state that we are forced to be perpetually discussing just how the world is just continually turning to authoritarianism just in general?
Why do you think that's the case? Because I do know, and well, here's my hypothesis, and I'm basing this on data, which is that everything I I think is usually based on some fucking scientific study, but when people are afraid, the data are pretty consistent. When people are afraid, they move towards authoritarianism to provide them with a feeling of safety or comfort. So I think why we're seeing a move towards authoritarianism, be it left or right, is because people are afraid. And that's not good, by the way. Like, but that's
the strong man in your life.
Apparently,
people move towards authoritarianism when they are trying to seek refuge from a perceived danger. They try to find someone or something that can protect them from the thing that they fear. And all a person has to do in order to claim power is to give the people something to fear, aka the Great Plague, also known as COVID-19.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even that bad of a plague.
I think the worst plague is anti-whiteism. That's what I think. Because plague or no plague, if our people are eradicated and millions upon millions of people who are not genetically like us are shipped in and then trained to be radicalized and hate us, then it doesn't really matter at that point. We're getting genocided anyway. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like that. That's why I still think our focus should be on ending the racial hatred against whites, ending the ethnocide of people in white countries, and stopping the establishment from demographically replacing us with mass migration. Like that is the number one thing we should care to stop, because nothing else really matters. Like we only have like 20 years left at this rate before we're gone. Like we have to do something.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, please.
Why is it then that the people who are engaging in this replacement are predominantly white themselves?
Because they're evil. They're psychotic. And also, most of them are fellow whites.
That's what I mean. I don't understand.
I mean, they're members of the elite, so they know that they're not going to get replaced.
Right. Like elites, because of money and power, they almost universally all believe one of two things: that they're doing what is good, and they ideologically or pathologically or whatever believe in that, so they don't care about the things that are real. Or number two, they do know what they're doing, and they think that it's just, or they just don't care, like a Soros or whatever. They just don't care. They're just a psychotic, evil Malthusian that wants to just murder everybody and be as evil as they can. Like,
Jesus,
you can't apply realistic, normal human logic to these elites, to these oligarchs, to these anti-white globalists. They aren't normal. They're not like us. They don't operate like us.
Do you think it's because I've heard this, and I've also proposed this sort of paradigm before. It's that when you look at like Hollywood and the global elite in general, it seems that they get involved in like weird sort of pseudo-satanic, or if not outright satanic rituals. I'm not even Alex Jones in it, but you're like, this is real ass shit. And so they get pushed into that kind of stuff so that they have to then go along with it no matter what, because they don't want to be exposed.
I don't think they care about being exposed, because the plans for demographic replacement of whites, the destruction of white people racially, they openly talk about it. They've been talking about it at UN summit meetings for like 12 years now. Like, these people don't care. You can't confront these people and say, you're the boogeyman because of these reasons. They'll just laugh at you and say, security, get this person out of here. And then they'll go on to tell 1,000 people that paid $20,000 a head into their banquet the same shit that you just accused them of being. They openly pronounce it. Like, these people don't care. That's why calling them hypocrites and proving their hypocrisy doesn't work, because they don't care.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to shame Spoon. He says he's too sleepy. He's a big sleepy baby bitch.
You know, it's almost as if calling these people hypocrites is like complimenting them on their ability to subvert the masses and outsmart the stupid racist whiteys.
But they're really not subverting anybody at this point anymore. Like, we're being indoctrinated with what they want, because the subversion happened 100 years ago.
They see it, though. That's how they likely see it.
Maybe, I don't know. But what I definitely know is they don't seem to operate within normal human behavior patterns that regular people do, because regular people live in regular real-life situations and live communally. The people that are the main, whatever you want to call them, the globalist NWO crew, the anti-white oligarchs, whatever you want to call these people leading this single world, let's shuffle people around and bring the third world to the first world and destroy the economy and destroy money and Great Reset and all this other shit. These people are not normal. They defy behavioral models of a regular person. You have to analyze these people for the psychotic, inhuman vermin that they are. You have to study these people. You have to study these people like an insect infestation you have to eradicate because they're not like us. They don't think like us. They hate us, and they're antithetical to our existence.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know what people are supposed to do or how they're supposed to react, but I don't know how people are not getting it at this point that like the elites hate you and they want you dead because they've made it overtly clear, particularly over the last 2 years, that they hate you and they want you dead because they think that, I mean, like, you know, I can't even say, because I thought for a while, I was like, oh, is this about like global warming, that they want to reduce the population and fuck with people because of global warming? But it's like, no, but then they go and buy housing on the beach, on this beachfront property that according to their own estimates will be destroyed in 5 years, yet they go and spend millions and millions of dollars upon
it. That's why I tell people to always follow the money. If there's putting millions and millions of dollars into ad campaigns to try to get regular people to kowtow to this climate change alarmism, and we have to take in the immigrants and all this other shit because of the climate change, the same money, the same investors, the same mega rich fucks, they are buying up all of the property that they're running middle-class people out of.
Yep.
Now, why would they be doing that? Why would they do that?
Gee, it's a mystery.
Right? Like that's what you just follow the money and things start to get clean or start to become clear.
They've just got more money than sense. They don't know what they're buying.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Also, like the whole idea, like how much money has Pfizer made in the last year?
Like 2.2,
like sickening amount.
It's like 220 billion or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, insane amounts of money.
And that's just Pfizer, not to mention all the other ones.
Right, just Pfizer. All of them have become, I mean, they're already rich as fuck, but now they have become ultra.
That's the problem with these people. The people like us, the eternal Anglos like us, we think it's great for people to be rich. These people think it's great for only them to be rich. For us, there is an answer of enough. They don't have that answer. There's never enough. They don't want your money. They don't want the market's money. They want all the money, all the resources, all the power, all the children, all the networks. All the networks. They want it all.
Spin won't come on, but it's 33 billion from Pfizer. So
how much?
These kinds of
says
folks,
they have done $273 million donated since 1993 to Congress. 273. Is that Pfizer, Spin?
Probably.
But it's 273 million.
That's in lobbying costs, right?
Yeah. I think
that makes sense.
So.
I hate
Get him come on to explain himself, sleepy bitch.
Lobbying should be outlawed like usury. It has no place in society. There should be no lobbying.
It sure should.
And there should be no usury. Those things are critically evil sins that must be purged from our society. We can't function with those.
Yes, the 273 million is just Pfizer since 1993.
Man, that's ridiculous.
Yep. Well, of course. I mean, like, it's so funny to me that the left has all these fucking issues with I don't know, big everything else until they put a rainbow flag in their fucking goddamn profile. And then they're all of a sudden fine with it. And of course, you know, the reason why is because the hardcore leftists is that they think that when they get their glorious people's communist utopia, that all these organizations will become part of the government, that the government will subsume them, instead of the antithesis, which will really happen, which is that the corporations will subsume the government.
Well, if not that, if whatever this is culminates on a smaller scale, then the people that are rich and connected in the giant corporations, they just shift away, let the area collapse, then move in and own it. Like it's not like a quick coup, but when an area suffers decline, which they're forcing upon America right now, you see the dalliance of the rich and the powerful. And then when things really start to collapse and people are desperate, that's when they start really snatching everything up. And I think that, I mean, we're already starting to see that. What, BlackRock bought up, 67,000 acres of farmland or some shit recently, and they bought 200,000 homes or some shit. Like, this shit is not on accident. This is all orchestrated and on purpose by these globalist dominator people.
Absolutely.
Like, they want this to happen. They want us all to just be serfs again. They want us all to be slaves on the globalist plantation.
This is a
They hate the middle class. They hate independence. They hate small business. They want to be the kings.
God.
They hate God.
I was trying to say something earlier, and I think it's very appropriate for right now. These kinds of people, they don't see wealth as just simply a resource that everyone should have access to. They see wealth as a limited resource that they need to have as much as possible of. And despite the fact that we run on fiat currency systems, which are basically just money means nothing in the first place, whenever these kinds of individuals, these oligarchs, see that other people have money, they see that as money that they don't own, and that the fact that they don't own that money is a travesty. They see other people's wealth as wealth that is rightfully theirs, and will do everything in their power to impoverish those around them in order to ensure that their own wealth is maximized to the greatest extent. Despite the fact that it's just a simple fact of modern day, it's just a simple fact of modern day economics that person A's wealth does not impact the amount of potential wealth that person B can have.
Exactly, and that's why I say you can't apply the psychological, ethical, whatever to these people. They're not like us. The modeling that we understand doesn't apply to them. You have to study them like they are a hostile invading species. And no, I'm not talking about the small hats. I mean all of these globalist evil assholes. I see you, chat. I see you, chat. I see what you're saying. No, like I'm talking specifically about these heartless, evil oligarchs. These monsters of people. And yes, the small hats are overrepresented, like in all powerful positions. I get that.
Yeah, but it's not small hat dependent.
No, it's not small hat dependent. No, when I'm talking about these vermin, I'm talking ethnically, racially, universally here. The vermin, the evil invasive species I'm talking about are these psychotic globalist monsters that view us all as just chattel. That's who I'm talking about.
It's people like AOC. It's all these people who absolutely.
No, she's a useful idiot to these people I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, she's a useful idiot. But okay, I'll put it this way: AOC's handlers. Let's put it that way.
That's a better way to look at it. Yeah.
Who have hired her as an actress to enforce these same politics. Is that it's the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to do, I think, with one group or another. It is overwhelmingly useful to what we have to deal with. What we're looking at, which is a political oligarchy. I would say
along those lines, two things. The first thing, we have a paid chat by Violence is Life, longtime supporter of the channel. Hello, Vi. She says it's that they are altogether in fear of the rest of us. They schemed and connived day and night for generations to secure their power that they rely on for their survival. They view us with suspicion because we aren't like them, and they need us to be cowed to have power. And now we're going to bring her on the channel because she's in the lobby. Hello, Violence. You're with us and you're live. Can you speak for us?
Yeah.
Hi. Welcome.
Oh, excellent.
Hi, everybody.
So I figured I would pop her on here after I read her paid chat there.
Oh,
Is there any follow-up you want to give to your paid chat now that you're live with us, Vi?
Yeah, that you did a very good read.
You're so roboting.
Oh, no.
I think that's a bit of a spotty connection there.
Yeah, Vi, you're roboting in and out on us. I don't think you've got reliable connection right now.
You need to pour the wires with with Tennessee bourbon.
No. What you need to do is you need to check your Ethernet cable, make sure it doesn't have any kinks in it. If it does, then that causes a restriction that stops the internet pixies from getting to your computer.
Internet pixies, that's cute.
Funny enough, we still don't know why twisted cables perform better than straight cables. It's just physics we don't understand.
Vi, I know you're trying to talk, honey, but it's just garbled noise that's coming out. We're not really getting anything you're saying. I'm sorry.
You might want to try turning off high definition audio. It might take less.
If you check the settings on Restream, you can turn off high resolution audio if it's on. That can cause you problems.
I mean, if you've got that little throughput, then anything will help.
Okay.
Well, hopefully she'll get sorted out and she can have some chat with us. But in the meantime, let's check some other chat because we've got some stuff going on in a few places here. Let's see. No Leaf Clover over on Odyssey says they view this as a zero-sum game. It's a fixed pie, and they want it all. Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
And over here on DLive, let's see. Oh yeah. And of course they're going to use the media to try to call us all liars. Spozfreund says, I saw the other day that the MSM calls the Great Reset a conspiracy theory. It's brainwashing. It's gaslighting. They have conferences and books about it. They don't care how much of a hypocrite they seem. They know they have the power. That is correct.
Mm.
That's why I said earlier, calling these people hypocrites doesn't help. It doesn't matter. They just don't give a shit.
They really don't.
Well, Violence, I would love for you to talk to us, but I can't hear you say anything, and the few times that you've made sound, it's just robot noises, so I don't really know what to tell you, honey.
Violence. Just try making a long, continuous noise. Just go ah for as long as you can.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we barely got any of that, Vi. I'm sorry. Like, you just,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with your connection, but it's just not working right now. Sorry.
How are you even watching the stream with that sort of connection?
That's a good point, actually. If you kill the stream
Upload
and
versus
kill the other
down.
sources, maybe that will help.
Yeah.
Can you turn
Well,
off
that is
everything
good.
else that's requiring bandwidth? Maybe that'll help. We'll give her another minute before we get
Yeah.
rid of her here. Hopefully she can sort her shit out and give it and talk to us.
Are you on Wi-Fi, for fuck's sake?
Oh no. Internet pixies hate Wi-Fi.
That they do. Speaking of people coming on here, this is a community stream. Those of you listening, if you want to hop on here with us and have a chat, just let me know in the chat or send me a PM somewhere, and I will send you a link to hop on and talk to us today.
I don't really know anybody who'd be interested in popping on that likely isn't
And I sent the
already
link to
listening.
Spoon. He's being a baby bitch, so.
Speaking of Spoon, I do love his content. He makes really fun content. I like it. Everybody that has watched DD before has probably heard Spoon at least once, but if you don't follow Spoon for his regular content, you're missing out. He makes really hilarious, pointed, and clever short-form videos, and they're very good. Very good.
Oh no, his new video is a
I've
whole
heard-
15 minutes long. It's real long for him now.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Oh
He's
my
losing his
God.
way! Go back to
I
short
know.
form, honey. It's better.
I've only ever seen a couple of his videos, but from what little I have seen of him, he really does make good stuff.
Audio.
He's up to 15-minute videos. That's half of one standard Sargon. That's too long.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's upset. It's 17 minutes, not 15. He got mad.
Oh, wow.
He didn't come on, just like respond to me in text, but whatever.
Well,
He can't
Violence,
possibly hope to get more than one video a day out at that rate.
Violence, I'm going to leave you on
Yeah.
until we have somebody else that wants to hop in. Hopefully you can get your connection sorted out there
Yeah,
and have
also
a chat.
sorry, Violence. I had to go. I really had to use the restroom. So I didn't even get to hear anything you had to say. I apologize.
Well, actually, she didn't really say anything. Like, she hasn't been able to talk at all. It's just been robot noise. So,
Yeah.
But no, she's been a long-time supporter of the channel. I've even done a stream with her before, and I don't know what her internet problem is right now. It's sad. I was hoping she'd get it to talk to us tonight.
Well, I understand mic problems. They happen. Oh,
Oh, we heard a
You can
chirp.
hear more,
it was a bit of a chirp.
It's
more,
stepping
more
in the right direction. Oh, there we go. I heard that was it.
Oh.
I heard you say that's it. Try talking again.
It's no.
Now,
You gotta love it when
There
the
wasn't
image
a
goes
test.
like low res.
I know,
How
right?
does the image even go low res? I don't even know how you do that.
It
Well,
means that you have such bad connection. It would take you like 30 seconds to load a JPEG. Like,
Oof.
she's got terrible connection right now. I don't know why.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awful.
that
I'm
is-
sorry.
Yeah. Violence, I'm going to leave you on here, but I'm going to turn your volume down. If I hear you talking and you get your shit sorted out, I'll let you know. But we have not been able to understand hardly anything you've said today, and you're barely even making any sound at all. It's just
Like,
every
how
once
did-
in a while a little chirp comes out of your window there.
Mm.
I don't mean to be like mean or anything, but it seems like you didn't test to see if any of this would work.
No, I mean, she's been on here and streamed with me before, but I just don't know what the problem is right now.
Then the ISP is just like...
It could easily be the ISP. Stupid. I had a whole fucking issue with my... Dude.
Yep.
I don't know if I complain about here, but
try doing an internet speed test and see what your upload speed
do Ookla.
Is.
Ookla, I tried that. The other thing is that like something funny that happened to me is that I thought we had a huge issue with our internet, and then it turned out that I had too many VPNs installed, and they were all fighting with each other, even though they weren't turned on. So. In the background, the VPNs were fighting. Okay.
Why do you need more than one?
Because I sell them. That's why.
You absolute shill.
I am a shill. However, I mean, like, if you...
NordVPN.
I do no longer work with NordVPN. However...
Good.
Although I have an issue with Nord, but I've seen issues with them, and that's why I don't shell for them anymore. And
but have you heard about her friend Raid Shadow Legends?
Have you heard about my friends Surfshark VPN or Atlas VPN?
Yeah. I'm over PIA guy myself.
Atlas and Surfshark are actually both very good VPNs.
Sure they are.
They are. It was Nord that was the issue.
Yeah, I know it was Nord. I know it was Nord that their security was so terrible that somebody broke it.
No, it installed something that was called the non-sucking service device, and it fucked up my internet. Yeah, it was a hot fix they put in. It was called the non-sucking service manager, and it fucked up my computer's capacity to connect to the internet.
I didn't know that because the original reason why people dropped Nord was because they got hacked and personal information got out and. That's
I don't
really
have
ironic.
About Nord, but just like I don't have an issue with Nord. If you want to work with me again, like we could have a conversation, but I'd have to be overt up front. Like, hey, that was kind of fucking shitty. These hot fixes that they put in hot fixes to deal with issues and then never deleted them.
Well, one time is an accident. 2 times is a trend.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Atlas and Surfshark I like a lot.
There's a question from Hunter Cunning on Entropy that I don't know anything about, but we can talk to you guys because you sound tech savvy. Hunter says, wasn't there something like 8 or 9 VPNs purchased by an Israeli malware company?
Malware.
Yes,
malware company.
I have heard that.
In malware,
a bunch of VPNs have been acquired, shall we say, by some kind of...
By the way, he typed it correctly. I just said it incorrectly. I'm the retard, not him.
It's okay. Oh, no. We just both thought Delaware, and we're just like, in malware.
In malware.
Joe Biden likes his ice cream.
He does love his malware ice cream. Look, VPNs are actually very useful. Like, I have a Shutter account. I cannot use it in the UK here without connecting to the US. Which blows, but you need a VPN to do that. However, yeah, be careful about VPNs because there's some weird stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Violence's life to reset all of her network equipment.
Well, okay. Did I tell you guys this though? Like, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was wrong with my computer. I reset all my network equipment on both of my computers, my laptop and my PC. And couldn't figure it out until I just uninstalled Nord. And it was like, okay, well, it was doing some fucky wucky shit with my fucking ISP, with my network adapter. And it turned, by the way, not a bad thing. What was happening, as I found out, was that Nord was trying to protect my computer from, it was working as like anti-malware, but it was... the way it was working as anti-malware is by preventing my computer from connecting to the internet. So
that's like when you tell an AI to protect humans, so it just kills them all.
Right. So yeah, what does this mean? Like, yes, you kind of have to.
It's saving you from yourself.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, but not what I wanted. Thank you. Again, I don't have an issue with Nord. That was actually not their issue. I don't think they put in some shit that was supposed to be like preventing me from getting hacked, and
this is
in the long run,
this is like the problem with this is like the problem with Outer Heaven. You end up with like Ocelot and Miller yelling at each other because they're from 2 different traditions and they don't agree.
Right. No, it's really what happened. I thought originally it was probably some like conflict between the 3 different VPNs I had installed, but no, it did turn out that it was Nord getting hyper excited about something essentially for the my best interest. So
keep it tight, ship.
Violence, I'm going to drop you for someone else because we have another community person coming in. But let me know if you get your shit sorted out. And we can have you on a bit later, okay?
Sorry about the mic violence.
Yeah. All right. We have Kingdom of Vinland. Hello, Kingdom of Vinland. How are you today?
Okay. Is my audio good on your end?
You sound all right. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah. Hey.
Yes, I can hear you.
Just making sure.
You could maybe be
Yeah,
just a
'cause,
little
like,
bit
with,
louder, but otherwise you're clear.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure about the audio with what happened with Vi's audio and how bad that was. I hope she gets better audio. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I hope so. So, anything in
I've
particular
heard
on your mind you want to talk to us about today?
Like with the globalism bullshit, I hate them, frankly. If I had the power, I'd probably like to freeze their assets and fuck with them. Other things, criminal.
Other
Yeah,
Fed
I'll be
posty
honest.
things?
Israel, yes, very much so. I do not trust Israel at all. But
Nor
make
should
no
you.
mistake,
Nor
their
should you.
military, I would say their military is
trust
as
them
good as
either.
ours when it comes to skill.
Yes, because we train them.
Yeah. And fund them. Don't forget
Oh,
that.
hell,
We
I
basically,
Yeah.
think
But
they'd
I
be
don't-
just as even with our help. Like,
But I
with
don't
their
trust
air
them because
forces.
of,
Like, look at Operation Opera when they took out the Iranian reactor back in the 80s.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's an interesting story, actually, that one. There's actually a documentary on it. You can find it on the tube. It's quite good.
But I mean, the main reason why I don't trust the state of Israel anymore is because of the leftist government. I mean, they have the most restrictive lockdowns. They've had the worst case numbers because they've probably made them up. I mean, they're just not to be trusted.
Since I found as for me, I haven't trusted since I found out about the USS Liberty shit.
Google the USS Liberty incident.
Uh-oh. We're about to be in trouble.
Oh, so Borg, you're familiar with
that? I mean, yeah,
I'm pretty sure everyone here is familiar with the USS Liberty incident.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about it, or are we going to stay quiet about it because it might get us yeeted?
No, I don't care. It's fine. You can talk about whatever you want.
I'd be quite interested to hear about this.
Oh, you're not familiar? Holy shit!
Oh, you're not familiar?
You don't know? Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Lay it on us then, KOV.
This is gonna be good. Okay, back in
you're in for a treat, Ginger.
Before Israel was fighting a bunch of its neighbors, and off Israel, what is now Israel's coast, attacked a U.S. spy ship, the Liberty. Later, they claimed it was an accident when, in reality, it was completely premeditated. It was a joint air and naval attack. It would be considered a war crime, given what happened.
Yes, it was
the ship and jammed.
Oh no! They're taking
no.
down the internet.
Oh no!
Getting throttled.
Oh no! They know they're shutting him down. They know.
Shut it down.
Yeah, like seriously. Oh,
yeah. So it was during the 6-Day War, and yeah, they did attack the USS Liberty. It was in international waters, and it's considered a war crime because of that.
Yep.
They engaged in military action against a ship that was basically doing nothing wrong.
Right, I see. So they attacked a non-combatant.
Yes.
Without provocation.
Yeah,
And
without provocation.
What is the reason for this? What is the reason for this?
Well, that's where you get into the theories, right?
I was gonna say, Ginger. My only response to that is why indeed.
Yeah, the Israeli government claims that they were confused about its identity, which I don't know how that's possible, considering it has big freaking numbers on the side.
And also, keep in mind, who else would have that kind of ship at the time?
Right. Who else would have that kind of ship at the time? It was obviously an American vessel. False flag the USA to attack enemies.
Not to mention the...
Yeah.
Hey, you said it, not me, friend. You said it. You're going to get the ADL knocking, not me this time.
ADL? Well, I'm already CEO of racism. Jesus. Survivors attack rejected these conclusions, maintained the attack was deliberate.
I think what do is make false flags illegal.
Punishable
I don't know.
by public execution.
Kind of impossible, though.
I mean, dangerously based. Yes, from what I understand, the theory is that it was a spy ship it was a cover name for an NSA spy ship carrying out signal intelligence missions.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it was. But it's been ages since I saw a video about that, man. Like it's been like 15 years since I read about that.
But yeah, that is as far as I am aware, 312. That is the
prevailing theory.
Prevailing theory, yeah.
And supposedly it continued to engage in these activities for another 2 years after the incident. Let's see.
Sorry, what? Know about this part?
Yeah.
Oh, good, you're back.
Oh, and they're claiming that it was it looked like a hunt class destroyer to them, which the HMS Bean is an example of.
First a horse ship,
first
a horse carrying ship, now a destroyer.
Yes,
there is.
Do you want to know
a
I thought it was a fishing boat.
Fishing boat? No, a destroyer.
What's next gonna?
They claim that it looked like an Egyptian ship.
No,
which I know is ridiculous because they don't look anything similar at all.
I could give you guys a really deep red pill that I discovered recently if you want to know it about ships.
Oh, please do.
Ooh.
So, into the sinking of the Titanic. I'm not joking.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, so I recently looked into the sinking of the Titanic.
And did the Titanic have information that could lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton?
Yes. But also, it turns out essentially it seems that this has been a long-term conspiracy theory, but there is some significant evidence that the company that owned the Titanic intentionally sunk it. They sunk their previous ship.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't sink it. They didn't sink it, but they ran it into some sort of obstacle to see how much where the ship could take. And if you look back into it, it seems that everyone involved in the ocean liner company was aware what was going on at the time. And in fact, the guy who was running the fucking Titanic, or not the Titanic, the ship the ship that was that hit.
Are you talking about the Olympic?
The Olympic. The guy who was the captain of the Olympic after it hit some sort of obstacle and almost sank was almost immediately given a higher position within the UK Navy.
Failure way to the top.
Like overnight. Yeah, no, it wasn't failure. No, I don't think so. It seems I'm okay, I'll read it because it's fucking crazy.
Okay. Do you want me to put it up on screen?
It's on the fucking Wikipedia.
No, I mean you can just share screen and I can put it up if you want while you read it.
Yeah, it's the Olympic ship. It's really just kind of weird. Mm-hmm. I had RMS Olympic. Go down here and go way down post-war Olympic artifact. Where is it? The Titanic disaster. The Hawk
Olympic
collision.
Was the
this shit's insane.
There
were three ships.
Titanic.
3 ships the Britannic, the Olympic, and the Titanic. So, it says The Olympics, I'm reading from Wikipedia, by the way. I'm not reading any like forbidden shit. The Olympics' first major mishap occurred on her 5th voyage on 20th September 1911, wherein she collided with the British cruiser HMS Hawke. The collision took place as Olympic and Hawke were running parallel to each other through the Solent. As Olympic turned starboard, the wide radius of her turn took the commander of the Hawke by surprise. Weird. And he was unable to take sufficient avoiding action.
That's odd,
Hawke's
given how the ship is huge.
And given the fact that they would have been in communication with one another. Hawke's bow, which had been designed to sink ships by ramming them, collided with the Olympic's starboard side near the stern, tearing 2 large holes in the Olympic's hull. By the way, about the exact same places that the Titanic was torn in its hull, above and below the waterline, resulting in flooding of 2 of her watertight compartments and a twisted propeller shaft. Despite this, Olympic was able to return to Southampton under her own power, and no one was killed or seriously injured. HMS Hawke suffered severe damage to her bow and nearly capsized, but she was repaired and then later sunk by the German U-boat SMU-9 in October of 1914. What a nice coincidence.
Yeah, for real.
Cover that shit up.
Okay, when the Hawke and the Olympic collided, was it a T-bone kind of scenario, or was it at a glancing blow?
It was a glancing blow, as I understand. But
if 2 ships like that T-boned each other, I think they both probably would have sunk.
Both would go down. Yeah, you're right.
You would think they would, but it was in almost the exact same area where the Titanic was hit by an iceberg.
KOV, you're roboting really bad.
I'll get into this in a second.
Next. Fucking next.
So the guy, Edward John Smith,
in my opinion, it kind of adds more weight. In my opinion, it adds more weight to the theory that Titanic and Olympic were split.
What?
Okay.
Really?
You think so?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, like
they get new paint,
and the one that sank was the Olympic, and the ship. Yeah, like the ships got switched around for. It was essentially like an insurance scheme. It's crazy.
It is an insurance scheme. That is correct. So in here we go. In February 1913. Okay, wait. This is the right part. I'm still reading from this. Okay, so the Hawke collides with the Olympic. Now we're looking at the HMS Hawke and the guy who was the commander of it, who was, where is he? Because he was basically made into a full captain after the sinking of the Hawke. Yeah. Under Commander W.F. Blunt collided with the Solent with the Olympic. In the course of the collision, the Hawke lost her bow and was replaced by straight bow. Subsequent trial pronounced Hawke to be free of any blame. During the trial, a theory was advanced that a large amount of water displaced by the Olympic had generated suction that had drawn the Hawke off course. The White Star Line lost on appeal. However, that guy, W.F. Blunt, he moved up in the military directly after engaging in this devastating fucking accident to the Olympic.
Man,
isn't that interesting? Just welcome to the fucking old school fucking conspiracy theories.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Yes.
The ride never ends. The ride never
does
ends.
it? Like,
no,
it's so
it
bizarre.
really does not.
When you get into the shit, I randomly found this shit like a week ago.
I have just a theory to posit towards you to suggest why this may not be quite as credible as what it seems right now.
Yeah.
There is a very strong tendency for conspiracy theories to, over the course of decades or in some case centuries, be either proven to be correct or incorrect quite positively. The fact that this is still
I put a pertinent meme up for us for this.
Yeah,
the fact that this particular case is still unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah. If this was actually a conspiracy theory, then chances are it would have been revealed to be true by now.
Just to be clear. To be clear about what I was talking about, though, so this is William Frederick Blunt, the man who was the captain of the Hawke when it collided in the Solent with the Olympic in 1911, correct? Uh-huh. He was appointed to the captain, rank of captain, in the 31st of December on 1911, and then afterwards was appointed to the command of the Cressy and then the Blonde, and he continued to be upgraded and given higher and higher ranks until he was Rear Admiral in 1922. Despite the fact that he sunk, or nearly sunk, one of the most expensive ships ever made, he got promoted intensely. Just an interesting... I'm not even saying it's a conspiracy theory. It's just fucking weird, isn't it?
It's just weird, yeah. I wonder what was going on there. I wonder what the angle was.
Yes, it is.
There's my not conspiracy theory. Yeah, it hit it, by the way, in almost the exact same point where the Titanic was at.
KOV, you're roboting out. Your connection's getting terrible. I don't know what the problem is, but we're having trouble hearing you.
I think it's. Do you want to give someone else a try? Because he's made a good contribution.
Give me a second.
Or I can keep talking about the Titanic shit because I found out about this.
Keep going in the meantime.
I don't know what this means, by the way, but it seems to me to be an insurance plot.
Yeah. A
little bit, just saying. The Hawke incident was a financial disaster for the Olympic operator. A legal argument ensued, which decided the blame of the incident lay with the Olympic. And although the ship was technically under the control of the harbor pilot, the White Star Line was faced with legal bills and the cost of repairing the ship. So it might have been actually, I don't know, but it's really weird that this military vessel hits its sister ship 3 years earlier, not even 2 years earlier. On almost the exact same vector as the Titanic.
And it was the same captain of both the hit ships?
Titanic.
No. It was not the same captain. Oh, no, it was the same captain, I think, on both the Olympic and the Titanic. Yeah, it was the same captain.
But I think
somebody on both ships.
I think there was a connection through.
Yes, the Olympic captain and the Titanic captain had the same.
Yeah, Britain.
They were the same person.
You know, none of this shocks me because apparently there was also a 1912 mutiny, where when they were adding new lifeboats to the ship, because the problem with the Titanic was that, and the Olympic is that they both only had half as many lifeboats as they could fully equip, for some reason. And then when they bought some secondhand ones, put them on the ship, and they weren't seaworthy.
They weren't seaworthy.
So a bunch of the crew decided to go on strike until they replaced them
because they didn't want to die.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they didn't want to die. They're not seaworthy. So they brought on some new people. Like they brought on like half as many from Southampton and Liverpool, and then the rest of the crew started to quit because they said that they were unqualified and they were dangerous to work with. So,
it's just freaking bizarre. This is stuff that, like, I'm not even calling this a red pill, I guess, but I just randomly looked into this.
It's more like this company just sucks.
Yeah, the company sucks. Look, okay, uncontrolled capitalism can also fucking suck too.
Yeah, let's see. On the 25th of April, deputation of strikers witnessed.
Yeah,
good I guess so. I mean, the 20s did have a lot of that. The 10s and 20s. A deputation of strikers witnessed a test of 4 of the collapsible boats. One was unseaworthy, and the deputation said that it was prepared to recommend the men return to work if the boat was replaced. However, the strikers now objected to the non-union strike breaker crew that had come on board and demanded they be dismissed, which the White Star Line refused. 54 sailors then left the ship, objecting to the non-union crew, who they claimed were unqualified and therefore dangerous, and refused to sail with them. This led to the scheduled sailing being cancelled. All 54 sailors were arrested on a charge of mutiny when they went ashore. On 4th of May, 1912, Portsmouth magistrates found the charges against the mutineers were proven, but discharged them without imprisonment or fine due to the special circumstances of the case. Yeah, that seems fair.
All this is fucking crazy, man, right?
Yeah, I know, and this isn't the only case of this stuff. This is pretty much all of them acting like this. Fearing that the public opinion would be on the side of the strikers, the White Star Line let them return to work, and the Olympic sailed on the 15th of May. but did they replace the boats?
No, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. All this shit is sus as hell.
Yeah, this is really suspect.
Why would you? Why
this
would
is
you
dark.
book any boat with half the number of lifeboats you could? Why would you do that? Just to save a buck? That doesn't sound. That sounds insane.
It seems set up that everything about the White Star Line was trying to kind of kill people.
Why? Why would you try to just kill people? Are they trying to
insurance money? I'm guessing. Although they failed on their trial run with the Olympic. I mean, like this is hardcore conspiracy theories, but they're conspiracy theories that are 100 years old. So I think we're allowed to speculate on them, right?
We're allowed to speculate on whatever we want, especially on my channel. We talk about tinfoil shit all the time.
You're a free human being wherever you go.
Well, I especially like to take a dump on the government and rich people trying to fuck everybody else over.
Fuck the government.
There were a lot of rich people on those ships, though.
This stuff was heavily subsidized by the government, I believe.
I wonder if it was like, if it was somewhat, they'd sort of stacked the deck on who was on the ship based on who they were, and they were trying to eliminate political rivals or.
Well, maybe all those rich people they killed on the Titanic are just the ones that refused to donate to the Clinton Foundation.
By the way, both the Olympic and the Titanic, both of them were struck on their maiden voyages. Oh no, the Olympic, it was like 10 voyages in, but the Titanic was, of course, its maiden voyage. But the Olympic was like 10 in.
Well, maybe the rich people that got killed were ones that were against the Federal Reserve. Maybe that was it.
I would imagine that there's probably some reason why you built these mega hyper super ships and then seemingly tried to sink them.
Yeah,
with naval vessels or with the iceberg, depending on what was more expedient.
There's another detail here that I feel I need to point out. Did this incident between the Olympic and the Hawk, did this happen before or after the sinking of the Titanic?
This is before. It was it was a year before the Titanic.
Okay. In that case,
I remember the Olympic
is
a sister ship. It's almost identical.
Yeah. If this is a conspiracy theory and this is a situation that was planned for in advance, I seriously doubt the capabilities of any organization, whether they be governmental or not, on the ability to predict the location of an iceberg, its size, and then be able to effectively ram the ship into it in the precise location. A ship that is of a ridiculously large scale that has never before, or pretty much since, been designed. Well,
the ships now are way bigger than the Titanic, by the way.
Yeah. But there was no ships designed up until that point, and they were very slow, lumbering, and basically attempting to collide an iceberg into a specific point intentionally would have been, for all intents and purposes, impossible and by chance.
Right, so it does raise an interesting question, because it kind of seems that they did a dry run with the Olympic. That's how it seems.
Yes, it seems that way. But
it seems that KOV's gone. I don't know what the deal was with his internet. I'm sorry. Thanks for coming on, KOV. Hopefully you're still in the chat and you're hearing us. So
yes,
thanks for coming on. Those of you that want to come on, like I said, if you don't have the internet to do live streaming, I will give you a chance. But if the internet's terrible, there's really nothing I can do to fix that, guys. Sorry.
I agree with you, though, by the way, Ginger, in that, it's weird as fuck. So it's just, it's more than likely possible this whole thing is just a strange coincidence that this all happened. But it's a super strange coincidence. And the fact that the
reason why I'm thinking that despite all of this bizarre situation, that this is almost certainly just a series of unfortunate coincidences, is simply because in order for it to be planned, you would effectively have to be able to control the laws of nature and chance to within a completely unrealistic degree.
Unless it was described to the captain to drive into an iceberg, because they said we'd already done this on trial run and the ship would be fine, because it was fine, by the way, a year earlier.
Well, that's the thing. drive into an iceberg implies the ability to aim for an iceberg. This is a ridiculously large ship, which is only being able to be controlled by a comparatively tiny rudder in the back.
Yes.
The chances of this
and
thing
also
being
it was
able
at
to
night.
bend in
Don't
any
forget that it
sense
was
is-
at nighttime.
But they were
Yeah,
still
yes,
the
still.
captain's still supposed to be able to, dictate where the ship goes, particularly when they knew they were in the North Sea, and therefore there's going to be icebergs there. I'm not trying to come up with some grand conspiracy theory. I just
Or maybe
find
they
it,
did that on
freaking
purpose so they could use the
well,
iceberg as an excuse, and the other ship
Yeah,
that was supposed to
exactly.
hit them was just laying there waiting with the lights off.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows?
and don't we know about how the radio operators were doing during that time too?
Mhm.
That supposedly I don't know if it was the Titanic or the Olympia. Yeah, it was the Titanic. The radio operator on the Titanic was blasting some sort of message, and there was no way electrically to block specific messages. It was just everyone operated on the same channel, and they were just essentially jamming it. And then the next nearest boat was telling them to shut the fuck up, and they got into an argument. And it
Yes.
lasted all night long.
It's super freaking weird, right?
So when he asked for help, he said, "Yeah, I'll fucking shut the." Oh, right. That's
there it is.
that's appropriate.
Woohoo!
Because the crazy part about it is that he was being so annoying about it. Is that the closest boat's radio operator shut off his radio and did not receive the
Yeah.
message when they were in trouble.
It's incredibly bizarre. I hadn't looked into it until literally last month, but this is my only point in bringing it up, other than the fact that it's fucking fascinating, is because I think conspiracy theories that have real world fucking implications have been around for a long ass time.
I think that we should just stick with what I say is always follow the damn money. And I think that this was to kill a bunch of people off or intimidate people that were against the Federal Reserve.
I think that's a very real possibility. Because
that's what I'm going to stick with. That's my tinfoil vote for the evening.
Who would have been on that boat? The ultra rich who might have, been against the Fed. Interesting. Yep. Going to America. How interesting.
Find out who was on the boat, who they were. God, that was disgusting.
It's fucking fascinating, though, right?
Yes. Find out who's on the boat. Find out who their enemies were, and see if they all sort of align.
The fact that the guy that this happened literally a year and a half earlier to a ship that was the exact same build, and it was seemingly intentionally hit by a military vessel in the exact same place to see if it could make it. I mean, I'm just speculating. A little bit weird.
I mean, it could be two birds with one stone. Who knows?
It could be completely random. There is such a thing as serendipity. It's totally possible.
Yeah.
But I only found out about this 2 weeks ago, and I was like, holy shit, this is so weird.
Yeah. It's amazing how 30 years old, still learning about how the world works.
I know, right?
I have good news. We are about to be joined by. I'm sorry, Ginger. Give me a second. We are about to be joined by our last guest of the evening, which is Hunter Cunning. Hunter Cunning is the one that helped me plan and organize the fall meetup camping trip that we just had a few weeks ago. So he'll be joining us shortly, any minute now. I'll send him the link just a second ago. He's finally back from work.
Anyway, sorry,
nice to have another one.
I didn't mean to.
Anywho, back to the crazy conspiracy.
Anyway, back to the interesting shit. Shut up, Yiz.
No, I didn't mean to get him off track off of this weird Titanic shit I found a week ago.
No, I love it. Welcome, Hunter Cunning. Can you hear us okay?
Hello.
I can hear you all right. Can you guys hear me just fine?
Yes. Loud and clear.
What a relief.
We finally have a guest. We finally have a guest with functional internet. It's wonderful.
This is like when you're on a radio show and you get those callers who just don't fucking talk.
Yeah.
Or they're driving and you can hear a bunch of road noise while they're talking. It's just
yes, and then they're and then they hit a pothole and they're cursing and they're just not paying attention to the conversation.
So, Hunter, anything in particular you want to talk about tonight? You got a topic or something you want to share? Anything?
Well, I will admit, I had a topic, and then I got on stream and realized that I was talking with everyone, including Aiden Paladin, and I got stage fright a little bit. So No, I don't have a topic right now.
Well, everybody,
I hope you enjoyed
wait,
the
Just
mind
that Jen,
break.
homie.
just to help
Over.
Hunter Cunning chill out, everybody be completely silent and point and pretend to laugh at Hunter Cunning.
Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you, Yiz. I appreciate
welcome.
that
You're welcome.
immensely.
You're welcome.
Although I will say, not to make it just ultra awkward, Aiden, I'm a huge fan. I have been
good.
following your content for years. I actually found you from, there was a video that you made a couple years ago, I believe, about pornography in young men, and that impacted me personally. And I just really appreciate all the hard work that you do, honestly.
Well, thank you. Don't worry, by the way. Thank you. So we're all normal people here.
Yeah,
I understand
felt
the
same way.
psychology of this stuff very well, but just don't worry. Like, it's all
No,
cool.
Aiden does do great work. I think I found Aiden about 4 years ago, and I've loved her content ever since. And I was very happy she wanted to come on and be a part of this show. But no, she's good people. I like Aiden.
This is a good show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's high praise considering we are just normie. We are just nobodies.
Hey, I may not be popular.
Come on now.
I may not be a popular streamer, but I ain't nobody. I've done a lot with my life, and I've impacted a lot of people, and I've accomplished a lot of things.
All right, correction. Yiz is the one. Is the non nobody among us.
Thank you. You hear that, Aiden? You're a nobody. Ha ha ha.
I am, to be honest.
No.
I really
No,
thank you. I'm glad I can do anything. If I can do anything to help, I'll do anything to help.
No, I love having Aiden on. She's smart. She's got a nice voice. People like hearing her. She says smart shit,
God,
and
so
she's into that cool statistics stuff that's so important.
I'm shocked that like bigger shows don't like have you on more often.
That's real.
I say spicy things that people don't like to hear.
Oh man, you say spicy things? Wow.
Okay. You say spicy things?
Oh, dude, like I can't even say like there's racial differences in IQ without someone getting fucking pissed off at me.
Read the
I'm not,
like,
I'm not even. I don't have an agenda. I'm just like saying like, hey, here's the statistical thing, and people get fucking upset. So yeah, no, I can't say shit.
Follow the science.
As opposed to be people invite me on, and I'm like, hey, let me tell you about my Uncle Ted.
I was going to say, coming from Don's community, spicy has a very specific definition.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
You want to tell her what that is?
Oh, are you at all familiar with Don the Pleb, Aiden?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, she's been on stream with him on this stream several times, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I am a retard. Excuse me.
No, it's fine.
I have to apologize. I am somewhat of a retard.
I am somewhat of a retard myself.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I'm among friends.
I was hoping someone would hurt the man himself.
But yeah, I actually, I'm sort of Don's PA, for lack of a better term. I help organize things in the background, his merch store, blah, blah, blah. Nice. But yeah,
cool.
There's been a handful of streams just watching Don literally just yelling, fuck you, retard, just over and over and over for God knows how long. So yeah, spicy's a specific definition.
Yeah, I think I think at this point, spicy means saying anything that's not approved of by the mainstream narrative.
Pretty much.
So, which is unfortunate and gay, but that is the current paradigm.
It is fraudulent and homosexual.
Fraudulent and homosexual.
Fraudulent and homosexual.
Indeed.
I like
Indeed.
Is this like Bloody Mary? If we say it enough times, are we going to summon fucking Pete Buttigieg? Is that how that works?
He'll show up.
I hear that if you say if you say nigger 3 times in the mirror with a Canadian accent, blackface Castro's son shows up when you turn the lights off.
I'm here if you yell Bloody Mary 3 times into the mirror. Someone called your mom will show up at 3 a.m. and
hey.
I disavow the use of the N-word. That's terrible. How dare you?
Oh, you can say anything you want on this channel.
I'm
so totally about the use of the word, the N-word.
Offended.
Whoops. There's a phrase that I stole from my biological father. He says, "Oh, you're offended? Too bad. Shouldn't have brought your feelings along."
How accurate though.
I know, right?
I learned from a very wise old woman that thankfully was a grandmother of mine. She said, "Offense can only be taken. You choose whether you're offended or not. You have to willingly take offense.
Yep.
And that's why you never have to be offended at anything if you don't want to be. And I took that to heart.
I'm really tired of dealing with the people in my life who get offended by every little small disagreement. I'm just tired of it.
It's so incredibly important, by the way, because offense is exactly as your grandma said. Yes.
Yeah.
Offense is taken. It's not given. You have to choose to be offended.
Yeah.
And so it's a very weird paradigm that we exist in, where like everybody's offended all the time.
It's like taxes. You can choose not to, which is why I don't.
Yeah. Just choose not to, by the way. Like, just choose not to be offended. If something hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, I guess, but like, just don't.
And it's like, you're offended, and then what?
Right.
Like, what does that actually mean? Does that, like, does the money amount in my bank account change? Like, has my life changed materially? Like, no. Like, it doesn't actually do anything for anyone. Although, like, in smaller social circles, it's supposed to be like a social cue. But in today's society, like, we're all speaking to each other over the internet. Like, I've never met any of the people on the stream except for Yiz. So if Yiz said she's offended, that might mean something. But, you're talking to people on Twitter. What the hell does it matter if they're offended or not?
Well,
if I get offended at something, society's got problems.
For real.
Not offensive.
So much research on this. There's so much.
I got something good from Terry McCullough.
Please do start, Aiden. I'd like that.
Well, I don't actually know where to start on the research. It would take a really long time. But well,
that's fair.
You get me started?
Yeah, go ahead. You
get me started.
No, there's too much. It would literally take me hours. I mean, I could, but I think we're closing here, so.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, we'll be wrapping up shortly. Hunter's our last guest here. Hunter, not to put you on the spot, but since you are simping and a fanboy over Aiden, is there anything you'd like to ask her here while you've got the chance?
I think you asked me a serious question, but the problem of the matter is that it would take me.
Now, I meant something not serious to try to make him blush.
I could answer that entire thing, but it would take me about 45 minutes to explain the entire social psychology of everything you asked, because it can be explained via data. I have explained it via a lot of my videos, but it's a lot of research, a lot of data.
I do have a question, but I'm not going to ask it on stream. I'll ask it in private chat.
Go ahead. Oh yeah. Okay. Just DM me afterwards. There you
go. Okay. Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, Twitter's fine.
Okay. Cool.
So as we approach the end of the show, this has been a fun community stream. Thank you, Aiden, Ginger, 3 of 12, Hunter Cunning, KOV, and Violence is Life for coming on and having a chat with me today. I hopefully will be back for a proper 27th episode of Discordant Dragons this coming Monday. Everyone on the panel right now is invited to be a part of that should you want to be next week. And I will also have someone who lives, I think, in the Netherlands going to be on. He's a friend of mine from Cabal named Theo.
Dutchoid.
A Dutchoid, I think.
Yes.
But I know him pretty well, and I've talked to him several times in Cabal. We hang out in the morning for me, watching fun movies and stuff. He's good people. I think he'll have a good time on the stream, and it'll be fun to have new blood. It'll be fun to have new blood around here. So
I can confirm, by the way, Theo is a good man. I consider him a friend.
Okay, cool.
There's only two people I hate in this world: people who are intolerant of other people's cultures. And the Dutch. Thank you.
Well, you'll be happy to know in that case that he isn't actually Dutch. He's actually Romanian.
He's Romanian. That's right.
He's a dirty gypsy.
Oh.
I knew that he at least lived in Romania a while. He's originally from Romania. He just lives in Norway or whatever the fuck it's called, Norwegia or
That's
Dutch.
Right. He currently lives in the Netherlands.
Netherlands. That's it. Shit.
Yeah.
He himself is actually Romanian.
Interesting.
He also has a very weird accent that can best be described as generically European.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that like Spoon's accent, where it sounds like he's from about 4 different places at the same time?
Well,
sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because he's a gypsy boar?
Well, yeah, Spoon's gay-ass accents because he's from South Africa. He lives in Ireland.
What the fuck?
He definitely doesn't sound South African at all.
Why is he in Tater Country? Do we know?
He sounds extremely savage.
I have not asked him.
I forgot. I think he told me once, but I don't remember. I forget everything.
It's because they're more human than the people he used to live with.
That is true.
Slightly.
He's listening to this stream. He's getting mad at me.
But only slightly.
Spoon's good people. I hope we'll be back on a stream one day. Anyway, we're going to wrap things up. I love all you guys. Thank you for making this happen. Thank you for those of you who financially support the channel. Thank you for all of you guys who share this stream and share my content and help me grow. That's the only way that I'm ever going to grow and get a bigger audience is if you guys all share it, because every algorithm under the sun hates me and doesn't promote me. So please share my content. Invite your friends and family and social groups to at least give a listen to old Discordant Dragons. Maybe expose them to some of my more serious long-form content that's still somehow magically on YouTube. Don't know how. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you guys for being here. And we will definitely be back next Monday for a proper episode of Discordant Dragons. And this Friday, we're going to have Holly Midlife, a content creator about healthy female living, women's rights when it comes to living under the shadow of feminism and transgenderism. She has a channel about promoting positivity and health of being a woman and a mother in this trying age we live in. And that's my guest for the Corner Club this Friday. So tune in for me and Holly having a good chat about that. And with that being said, you can find Aiden Paladin at Aiden Paladin on YouTube, as well as Aiden Paladin on Twitter. And nobody else here has a social media presence. So that's it. Goodbye, everybody. Get out.